Sitting with the chair behind you, whether you're sitting in or at the floor, notice the support at your back body. Reach back and catch any aspect of the chair, and then lift your gaze and then look down. Lift your gaze and straighten the legs. Bring your feet together, press them into each other, and let your hands, wherever they are, also push down. Taking one leg out, bear down, and lift the other one. Very good. Take the time and switch. Which leg is bearing down? Which leg is lifting? One foot is turned out, one is neutral. So interesting what happens when the back body is supported. Switch, which is the neutral leg, which is the turned out leg, and bear down with the turned out leg, lift the neutral leg. Yeah? Lift your gaze, shoulder blades are supported. Switch which leg is lifting, which leg is anchoring. And the very subtle ways we use the chair still counts. The very specific and bigger dynamic ways we use the chair truly gets our attention. All right. Take the time and turn to the side. And as you do, and I'll switch how the chair is relative to me, as you turn to the side, bend in the knee that is closest to the chair. Keep the other leg long and then turn. And so while I'm here, the leg against the chair that can maybe rest against the edge of the chair has that support. And depending on the length of your frame, the size of the chair relative to you, that you're going to find both arms with their push-pull actions. Listen to your shoulders, notice length in your spine, keep extending the long leg, and then if you will, turn it out and bear down, right? The long leg at the floor bears down. We're going to stay here for a breath or two, and then we're going to lift it again. To appreciate that if we change the leverage pattern, something else comes into play, supports what we're doing. That's what happens in life. Bear down, come to neutral, and keep turning your head, look behind you. And then turn your head and look back over the other shoulder. I know that's counterintuitive, but it is a wonderful place to explore. It engages the back a little bit more. Very nice. Keep the arm that is the same side, that's going to stay. Take the other one behind you. And if you want to keep it simple and just bear down into the floor, all well and good. But if you have the length in your limbs to reach across and find some aspect of the chair, I'm holding the leg of the chair, then continue to turn in that direction and just feel what is different. Follow your intuition. I'm going to put my inside arm in the seat of the chair and keep using it to lift the ribs and add more rotation. Amazing. Wonderful. Inhale and come on back. And exhale and switch. You're welcome to just swivel around. You don't need me. I'm going to take my chair in the other direction. And you can follow my words. Think about what happened on the other side, that you're going to lift and find some aspect of the chair. That bent knee is against the chair. It bears into it, some aspect of it, and how you are able to grasp certain areas of the chair then makes this your practice. That long leg can turn out and bear down. Just subtle changes. Then lifting it to notice that it is different on this side. It is for me. As you lower that leg and continue to bear down in neutral, turn and look over your shoulder and behind. Feel where your breath goes. And then turn your head back Look over the shoulder and get ready for our transition of having the twist in the opposite direction. Right, we're getting there in small increments. When you're ready for change, the outside arm can go behind you and it can catch some aspect of the chair or it can press into the floor. Then finding the lift. Noticing how from the other side we are able to continue making adjustments, creating balance in what we explore over here, continuing to turn the rib cage by how we use the arms. And inhale and come on back. Nice. From here, I'm going to turn and I am all of a sudden with the back of the chair behind me again. And I'm going to bear into the legs of the chair. I'm going to bear down and use that to help me climb up. Easy transition. You're welcome to try any other way. While you're here, the blanket can turn and I'm going to place mine with a little bit more of a fold just underneath my heels. You're welcome to use a block or simply to use the floor. But the idea now is to fold and then to unfold. I'm going to put a block between my feet. My hands roll off the edge of the block. And I'm going to bear into the heels, bear into the toe mounds, resist the elbows to the inner knees and look ahead, because despite the fact that this is a fold, we want to not collapse the front body. So whether you move your hands more forward, I'm inviting you to rock up onto your toes and to lean in, to broaden, to lengthen the neck, to broaden the chest, and then to sit back down. Okay? And as you play with repetition, just warming up how your body is taking this on, you can make the blanket lower and bear into the heels. It's just a different angle of strengthening, sitting bones reach back. And again, keeping all of the same relationships. I'm going to lean in. I'm going to rise up out of the chair and lean forward. And then come back. You may like using the blanket roll. Your ankles may truly need it to stay. But if you'd like to take the blanket ahead of you and then aim for the heels at the floor, then come on, fold a little deeper and bear in. This is the initiating the starting point. When our pelvis is way up here, we can control a little bit more how the feet can be a little bit more parallel. I know they want to turn out. I know they need to turn out. But as we strengthen, then we'll aim a little bit more toward parallel. And then again, please make your adjustment and lean in. Lean in, broaden, lengthen, and release. Bring the block back, close by. Bring the second one, tall or medium or low. And then as we give this position, this shape, just a little bit more attention, a little bit more time, we're going to bear down and we're going to focus then on the legs, lifting the legs, lifting the spine in this strengthening flexion, extending one or both legs. It's an opportunity. Stay here and take another breath and then slowly pull it in. Very nice. I'm going to keep one block between my feet, one block between my hands. Doesn't matter the width. You are welcome to ignore me and spend time with repetition. Use this as homework, explore. But because the chair is here, it is reminding us, oh, but we really want to orient back. We want to orient our sitting bones back. And then slowly lift. We are ready to open. And as we turn and face the chair is beside us, we're going to turn to the side. I just want you to pause here, still hold the block. I'm going to make mine narrow, and I'm going to hold the other one in my hand and just keep reminding the shoulder area, this broadening, soles of the feet to the floor, legs are on, rotating inward to continue strengthening all of those patterns of push from the shoulders through to the fingers and rotating forward. Right. Something simple that we will grow at first. The block in your hands goes to the seat of the chair. And you may decide to use it and you may decide not to use it. I'm going to get the other one out of the way. And while we're here, the idea is to step into our tree practice. So my leg in the chair has some extra height to just help strengthen these angles of aiming higher. And because of the wide base, I want you to bear down into the chair leg especially, and then pull in, right? Take the arms high. So we could hang out here for a while. If you will, keep lifting the ribs, wrap the shoulder blades to the periphery of the rib cage, keep lifting the shoulder blades. It's a nice surprise. And we'll come back to this, we'll add on, but keep the legs toward each other. You're welcome to keep the arms here. I'm encouraging you to change the position so your shoulders don't get tired. And because of the stability, we're going to work the standing leg. We're going to lift to the toes and lower. Turn the palms up, drop the elbows, just find different ways to stay in the present. One more time, slow and controlled, as high as you wish to be. The chair gives you stability. It doesn't shortchange you the work. Before you give this away, the arm on the inside is going to press and the other one is going to resist. And I'm asking you to bear in, to stay upright, and to turn. Notice how the leg in the chair continues to want to do its job, or it's going to do it more readily. The legs pull toward each other. For just a few seconds, try, or even a split second, try the arm that is against the inner leg. Can you turn it palm inward and catch just inside the thigh at the knee? And then check out, while you have your gaze on the horizon somewhere, what it would be like to lift the foot off the chair, off the block. Remember, the block is optional. And you can put your toes down and remind your nervous system, okay, here is stability. Here's the place where I can come back to. This is home base. And the challenge then would be to continue to use the hand against the inner thigh for resisting, while that gives us a little bit more to contend with. Everybody smile. And then very slowly step down. Whoo! It was very freeing of that side. Let's do the other side. And you can simply turn around. I'm going to move the chair. Foot in the chair. Here comes the block. And I don't have anything extreme. I didn't step especially wide. The standing leg really is underneath the plumb line. And here we are. And we're reaching up. Lower the arms and place one inside. The other goes behind. The idea is rotation. And right away, that chair leg resists. It reacts to the arm. It keeps its job, knows what to do. And that stability is very quieting for the mind. We know what to do with that. But we're off to the challenge, turning the palm inward, catching hold the inner thigh. You could stay here and just create the lift, action within, or you can explore. I'm going to lift my heel. Here are my toes. They're still against that surface below. And then I can take it in small increments, focal point counts. We find ourselves resorting to just simply balancing over our frame. And I'm encouraging you to resist the arm to the inner leg and engage the core. Yep. At your ease, slowly step down. Very nice, everyone. And then we're going to take the chair so that it is in front of us. And I guess what I'm asking is that you turn and face the chair. So I am trying to make sure that the chair is not going to slide. You need at least 2 legs of the chair on the mat. So the chair in front of you, I'm going to take it on this way. And as you step back, doesn't matter which leg you start with, but I have one heel hanging off the edge of the chair. I am facing the chair. There's a natural turnout in the standing leg. And I want to come into this warrior one. And for all of the deep folding that we did, this is a recovery. So we'll continue with that idea. 2 legs of the chair on the mat. That's our safety net. The heel hangs off, and we're coming and going. So as you come and go, that will help you iron out. Oh, maybe I want to distance myself a little bit more. If I were to take my arms out to the side, then I have a little bit help with managing balance. If I take the arms high, then perhaps this is a familiar warrior one set of actions. Can I take the arms even down and back and continue to open the front body? All of these wonderful variations. While you're here, lift the back heel. If it's too much, please anchor. If it's manageable, turn so that all the toes point in the direction of the chair, and allow your arms to go through that range. I want to lift around and up and feel how that challenges balance, just the movement of the arms. I'm going to return the arms around and down. So in case you are simply resting on your legs, bear down with the chair foot, bear down. Swing the arms forward, down and up. Another avenue of approach. And then this time, as you send the arms ahead, I'm going to have us anchor the back heel, come and fold, decide if you can catch the back of the chair. And all of a sudden, there is a little bit more of how we are stretching the back body and working it at the same time. To have aimed for the heel down is not just stretch, but work for the calf behind. And if you're ready to lift the heel and then just lunge into it any amount more, this is your practice. Before we give this away, I want you to alternate between using your hands for a pushing action and then playing with what happens when it becomes a pulling action, the arms pull. So let's try that again. Push. It tricks us into really using the chair leg to press down, and then pull. And the reminder that we can't collapse in the front body. We're not doing that. Put your hands in the seat of the chair. Come into your downward facing dog. It will feel very lopsided. Just hang in there with me. Remember which leg was in the chair. I didn't have us start specifically in a certain way, but I am going to have us lift our head and look ahead, bend in the knees, take on this deep squat. Right? We like to try this from many angles. Lift and lower the heels. And every time we come to a pausing place today, just feeling our foundation and how we can challenge what our feet do and how they talk to the spine, we are sneaking that in. Lift the arms, lift the toes, come on and stand. We got a lot done all at that one side. Let's do the other side. So I want to step the other foot into the chair, and I want to make sure that the heel hangs off and that there are at least 2 legs of the chair on the mat. 4 legs would be ideal. And we're going to warm up to it. We're going to come and go. Exactly. Let this help you define, do I want to be further? What is that going to be like for me? Can I take the arms out to the side and feel how they lend to helping balance? Coming into this long stretch, this long warrior one shape, very familiar place. We're just warming up those ankles, not just the knees. And then to decide about lifting the back heel, you are welcome to anchor it. Turning all the toes forward, finding any major or minor adjustments, and then taking the arms around and down. Taking the arms around and up. The feet talk to the rest of the body, so do the arms. Send the arms down and through and back behind you. Keep lifting, keep finding the lift. The foot at the chair bears down. And swinging the arms down and through and lifting any amount, lifting the rib cage. Beautiful. Take the time, and as you anchor the back heel, come and fold, put your hands with the back of the chair, make any adjustments. You may decide you need to be closer, you need to be further, but as you do, we're giving time to anchor the back heel. It gets our attention. And then we want to push, let the arms push. We want to explore maybe a deeper fold, a nice surprise that the hips are willing. And the arms can pull. Notice what happens through your neck, not just in your shoulders. Push again. Pull again. Beautiful. Having evened up this second side now, we're going to step again into our downward facing dog, maybe arriving with this felt sense of balance now. We evened it out. Keep inviting the shoulder blades to the periphery of the rib cage. Whether you keep your hand at the corner, the seat of the chair, or you come to center, I'm inviting us to take the other arm and aim toward the opposite ankle. Whether or not you catch it, not important, aim in that direction. There is still the action of how the arms push and pull, and guide the rib cage towards rotation. Inhale, lift your head, come back to center. Please do this. Bend in your knees, take that deep squat, keep looking ahead. This keeps our head happy. It keeps her ankles and calves working, that's for sure. Rest your heels, reclaim that place of symmetry and this willingness to explore. I want to rotate then in the other direction. I want to use my arms in this push-pull manner. Your hand can catch the top of the calf or the back of the knee, just depending on where you are comfortable adding action. This time, however, as you're ready to come back to center, if you will, take your arms wide, keep half of a fold, look ahead, keep a light bend of the knees. And through our practice, we often give attention to not hanging back in this position, being over the middle of the feet and then coming unfolding, dropping the elbows, using how we are anchored into our inner heels to guide that transition. Take the arms behind you and lift. Feel what it's like to do this on your own from this angle. Right? Do this shape that we practice from different angles against gravity. So now that we have a sense of what it is like to open without any other leverage, the body is the prop. We're gonna sneak in using the leverage of the chair. I am going to turn my chair around so that I am standing with it behind me. So we're here. Hold the chair, slide the hands down, lift your gaze, and then just begin to feel what guides you. Do you find that the shoulder opening needs you to stay close, a closer proximity to the chair? Or can you step a little bit further away without jutting the pelvis forward, inviting the back bend to the upper rib cage, walking the hands down any amount, and then bearing down and back? If we had the block between our feet, right? The block between the feet engage the inner thighs. So we can remember that prop and put the work into play. This imaginary line from the outer hip points to the inner heel and how that adds value to the lift. If your neck gets tired because this angle is not as familiar to your body, drop your gaze. I'm going to do it too. And as you look slightly down, keep lengthening the back of the neck up. Keep allowing the arms to reach down and back. Lift your gaze again. And we're going to continue to add on. I want you please to step one leg back, closer to the chair, and then step the other leg forward. And keep holding on to the chair and keep wiggling your feet further away. So that front foot can certainly wiggle. The back leg, depending on the shape and the structure of the chair, can wiggle back. And the arms can still hold some aspect of the back of the chair. If it becomes too much, you can hook a strap to the back of the chair and just make this at your ease, yeah? So here we are at the very top of this pose, Padottanasana, this pyramid pose. We're going to add a little bit of a twist to it, make it a revolved triangle. But interesting that we're going to work from here today. I'm inviting you to take one arm forward. If your left leg is forward, the right arm goes forward. Yeah. So if whichever is the front leg, that same side arm needs to keep holding on to the chair. Now, come and fold. This may limit the amount of folding that you take on, and that's okay. Remember, you can always add the strap. From here, we are turning the head. My left leg is forward. I'm turning my head to the left. And with that new focal point, my body knows what to do. It's willing. The rib cage turns. I'm anchoring the back leg. The chair gives me just enough to help me be a little courageous. Everybody find that working for them? If we were to pull the chair, we could easily tip it. And so this reminds us to reach back with the back hand and bear into the chair and use that to propel ourselves into more length and more twist. Very nice. Inhale and come on back. Place your hands with the back of the chair. Come back into your back bend and just check out and notice, is there more back bend available to you? Don't overdo. We're just coming and going, strengthening the neck, opening the front body. All right. We want to get to the other side, but we have one more place to go. We're going to take the back leg and turn it out. So we're going to revolve so that the chair is to our side. And then we're going to continue and turn that foot out so that we can bend in the knee and find that perhaps we can use the seat of the chair. As you hold this position, we are coming into half moon. We're going to have a good time. And so as you reach over the chair into the seat of the chair, that gives you some distance. And the arm that would be the top arm, it's going to hold the corner of the back of the chair. Follow your intuition as you lift the back leg. Do you want to distance yourself from the back of the chair? What allows you to be here and to use both arms? Begin to play. Oh, my hand in the seat of the chair, maybe I can move it more forward to the very front corner of the chair. Wow, what a push-pull. I can begin to fold, even if my rib cage were to touch the back of the chair. It depends on the size of your chair relative to you. And the lower that I fold, the higher that the back leg can go. Here's where control gives us a chance to explore our new destinations. The top leg, the back leg, can we bend from the knee so the foot goes slightly behind us? Can we invite the head back as if we're trying to let the crown of our head come closer to the sole of the foot? Remember, we did some deep folding right at the beginning, and I said, oh, but we're going to open now. We are slowly getting there. Take your time, and as you straighten the back leg, as you use your arms for control to rotate, and perhaps use both hands in the seat of the chair. Some of you will find that you prefer just to use the top of the chair, but all of a sudden we have this great warrior three. Our body knows this place. If your back leg is the left leg, lift the right arm. Stay here, look ahead, keep reaching those limbs away from each other. Minimize the need for the chair. I want you to still use it because we want to build time, but try not to be heavy-handed about how you've put your weight into the hand in the seat of the chair. And then at your ease, step down. Both hands at the back of the chair, come unfolding, step slightly away. You have some part of the legs of the chair on the mat. And I'm inviting us to rock up onto the toes, to lean the pelvis in, to remind our body, oh, we had this back bend, this shape, this is what we started with. And yes, we have this shape when we do upward facing dog and cobra pose, and many places surprise us with this shape. Bend in your elbows any amount more, keep reaching into the inner heels, keep lengthening the back of the neck. And though we could continue on with great variety, we need to let the other side catch up. Very nice, come on back. So we're ready to simply turn around and do all of that with the arms behind us and the other leg forward. So we started here and we had that same shape. And we mentioned, oh, this shape that comes from being at the floor, balancing on the belly, lifting the legs, having the back bending, reaching back. We're pushing down, creating strength. The other leg steps back. We're doing the second side. As you continue to bear into the chair, wiggle the front foot further forward. Keep sliding that front foot to its place so that you challenge the hip opening. So what is the truth in the here and now? We can take it very lightly and superficially and say, I thought I came to my comfortable edge, but wow, there's a little bit more. We could start with just that notion and then follow the depth. All right, here we go. My right leg is in front of me, so my right arm is going to stay. The other arm, left arm, travels forward. And coming into a fold, the back hand slides across the side of the chair until this is my limit. Otherwise, I'll lose the chair. Turn your head to the side. Notice how your rib cage is willing. Keep inviting that front hip back, the back hip forward, the weight to the inner edges of the feet, that front arm reaching. And though we could pull the chair with us, we're trying to press and reach back to grow that wingspan and give the back arm its challenge, right? To push down and back lightly. Keeps everything else on. Very nice. This twist is going to help us create length in the body as you're ready to inhale and come on out. Catch hold the sides of the chair, begin to slide down. There's a wonderful surprise in just this part. And it's because we came right away to this place and we didn't give away this willingness to open through a back bend. Many ways that we could sneak from one pose, slide right into the next. And today we're choosing to travel into our half moon. So begin to adjust your feet, begin to pivot and turn so that you're going to work from the side. I want to think about the leg that's closest to the chair and turn it out to face the chair. Bend in the knee, step a little further away from the chair, recognizing that we're going to lengthen and come on into our half moon. And again, I'm going to turn around and stay with you. So as you begin to put your hand in the seat of the chair, as you take the other arm to the corner, then come on into your half moon. What a nice surprise. And it would be wise and fun to just come time and again using different chairs just to see what happens. Where do we get to go? Maybe after the other side, we opened up possibility on this side, right? Your arms help you with control. The lower that your torso will go, keep challenging that top leg further, higher, and then bend in the knee. Take the foot behind you, draw your head back. Here comes the back bend. It's sneaking in. Because eventually we will use our half moon with the variation of where we can take the top arm and catch the ankle behind us. That needs us to come into extension, a little bit of back bending. Straighten the back leg, keep reaching into both inner heels. And when you're ready for change, bring yourself not just back up, but rotating so that we are sliding right into our warrior three. I'm going to simply put my hands down and square the pelvis. If the right leg is behind you, lift the left arm and vice versa. Keep a broadening across the collarbones, lengthening through the neck. Finding that you're challenging the standing leg by minimizing how much you need the hand in the chair. It's nice to keep it for today. It's the intention to build time. Let's stay one more breath. And as you inhale and come unfolding, as you grab hold of the chair and help yourself to this unhinging, again, please step slightly away. The palms are up. I'm going to come onto my toes, lean in, open the chest, bend in the elbows, continue to wiggle the rib cage forward of the upper arm bones, lift the gaze, and trying to keep the back bend. Yeah, in the upper back, I can straighten the arms and keep driving heart forward and up. And release, come on down. Beautiful. So after that, we're going to stick to a little bit of symmetry. I think we began to recognize how it is a recovery to come to a place after a lot of asymmetry to have symmetry. I'm using the block between my feet to pick up the inner edges of the feet and catch hold, roll the soles of the feet to the floor. And I'm asking that we lift and lower the front of the feet. So think about today, so far, we've done a lot of lifting the heels, a lot of calf raises and deep squats with the calves and ankles being on. And so this is the opposing action. I want to lift the front of the feet. I can feel the top of the ankles, the shin muscles. And the more that we strengthen this, sending our weight back into our heels, the more the core comes into play. And so we'll find ourselves staying more still. Yes, we have to adjust to what the feet are doing, but it's all a strengthening process, right? Trying to be really still while the feet initiate the holding pattern. All right, wonderful. From here, we're going to make our way to the floor. And I'm going to have us at first return to sitting. Think about where you had been with your crow pose as your chance to come back into it and just to feel the willingness of your body into flexion before we go back into extension. So if what you prefer is to use the block and have one more round of just leaning in, bearing in, only good. If all of a sudden there is some give and willingness of your body to just fold in, right? Fold into yourself, then plant your hands, lean in, keep your knees as high to your outer shoulders as possible, and just feel. Being really close, center of gravity really close to the floor gives you more control. Yep, this is your practice. And then we're not going to be very fancy. In the reverse, I am going to hold on to the seat of the chair and come and lower to the floor. The chair stays ahead of you. The blanket is an option. And we want to use the legs of the chair to give us some height. So if I were to use the chair ahead of me, then maybe I'll use the legs of the chair. Maybe I will use the seat of the chair, but I have options. You're welcome to fold your blanket and place it under your hip points and your thighs if you are looking after your back. If you want to keep it very light. While your gaze is slightly ahead or neutral, you can lift the legs or not, but while the arms hold the legs of the chair and bear down, then there is this sense of lift in response, and we can explore any amount, right? When I go higher, my choice is to rest my legs and follow your intuition, be true to yourself, and then very slowly come on down. We're going to try this 2 more times. You're welcome to back off and use your arms lower just to keep strengthening different patterns. And then lifting up. And release. Breathe. And one more time. Beautiful. When you're ready for change, we're going to work on that figure 4. So if you need just a few moments of this child's pose, we're going to come into that shape. It's the recovery that we are wishing for. And I'm going to leave my blanket where it is. You are welcome to fold and put yours underneath the pelvis. We might decide that we want it for our legs in the chair that comes at the end. Make sure that your strap is nearby in case you will want it. But where we are starting is a sneaky place where I want to scoot close to the chair. And then I want to place my feet so that they're right at the edge. They rest, the legs of the chair rest at the sticky mat. And I'm going to come into this bridge, very similar to a shoulder stand place, but we're not staying long. We're using this to the proximity that gives us this figure 4 stretch, ankle at the knee. And when I drop down, I want to be close enough to the chair that I barely make it to the floor. So gravity is going to help me. This gets my attention because I didn't get to the place where I completely get to rest the pelvis, and I'm just giving it time. Send your breath to those places that seem tight. Allow them to soften, give permission. Your body will respond to your attention to that place. If you're holding the legs of the chair, you might find a little bit of traction for the neck. If you allow yourself this as a homework practice, I would encourage that the chair could be against the wall, and then you could really rest with it. Building time. Let's stay 2 more breaths. Anticipate that the second side is going to be different. So as you put your feet in the seat of the chair and lift and tuck the shoulders underneath you, if this is the easier side, you might want to wiggle your way closer. As you get to know yourself, you will know what to anticipate, how to distance yourself. That regardless if you're a little bit higher, it is all good. Gravity is going to help you here. Ask for a little bit more. Smooth, steady breathing. Long neck. As you put your feet back on the chair, drape the legs over and just check out and notice if the height of the chair is right for you. Do you prefer to wiggle away, to make any adjustments, to add a blanket or any height in the chair to accommodate the lower back? And if your strap is nearby, do you prefer to take the loop and bind the legs, giving yourself the opportunity to continue to quiet the lower back? I would encourage that you start higher, closer to the fold of the pelvis. Be careful that the buckle doesn't eat into you right at the fold. And then use the entire length of the strap to just bind the legs. Bring it in. Invite your arms to an opening supported at the floor, by the floor. Bring your mind to belly breathing, watching the belly fall and rise, keeping the breath smooth and steady. When you're ready, bring your knees in and place your feet so that they are heels perhaps hanging closer to the edge of the chair. We had this shape in our crow pose, meaning that we had this deep fold of the lower back, this deep folding into ourselves. Take the time and roll to one side. Undo the binding as you wish. Give your body a little bit of time to shift and adjust. And then press up and sit. Namaste.